Can you guys hear me okay? Although I feel like I tend to talk loud enough anyway. We're good?
I'm going to turn it up just a little bit.
Okay. Howdy, y'all. All pumped for the Evening Rep retreat tonight? Yeah? You're more excited for the Chipotle, aren't you? It'll be my first time having Chipotle, so I'm really excited. I've always had Qdoba, just because Chipotle lines are too long and I'm impatient. Like, I get hangry really easily. But today I'm going to talk to you guys about initiatives within the Department of Residence Life here at A&M. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kristianna. I am the Graduate Assistant Sustainability Coordinator for Res Life. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what I do on a day-to-day basis within Residence Life. So just some background knowledge so you know a little bit more about me. I know we'll be doing a lot of team building activities. But I was born and raised in Rocky Mount, Virginia. Where the heck is that? That little red dot. In the middle of nowhere, where all I have are cows and a lovely smell of manure. I went to James Madison University for my undergraduate career. I got a Bachelor's of Science degree in biology with a concentration in ecology and environmental biology and a geographic science minor. Sounds really fancy, don't remember half that stuff, honestly. I am a current master's student in the Department of Recreation, Park, and Tourism Sciences with an emphasis in youth development, focusing on environmental attitudes and behaviors. And I'm planning a PhD program here next fall, so you might see me for 4 more years if you stick around in the year for refreshment. So what do I do as the Sustainability Coordinator for Res Life? I mean, it's kind of a weird thing, right? Who has that? So these are just a few of my position descriptions that I am tasked with doing. I manage all of our Aggie Green Fund accounts that either myself or my boss did. I'm not in charge of Brandon's. And I brainstorm new grant ideas, write reports on past grants that we've done. I assist any students, so if any of you want to submit your own individual AGF grant, I'm there and available for you to come to me and ask, how do I do things, how do I write, what are they looking for, and things like that. I also engage on-campus students with sustainability initiatives. I assist Brandon and the exec team with the Aggie Eco-Reps wherever possible. I manage our social media page, which I'll tell you a little bit about later. Develop new engagement ideas, which I also have a couple of those in the presentation, and then host resource tables at events like Campus Sustainability Day, Texas Recycles Day, Earth Day, and things like that. And then just general administrative tasks, filing, sending emails, the really glamorous stuff. So just a few of the departmental initiatives that we've done. This entire list is every Aggie Green Fund grant that Residence Life, whether that was myself, my boss, or Brandon, to my knowledge, has submitted. As you can see, water bottle filling stations are a popular one. Who likes their water bottle filling station? Yeah? Good. We also have these light switch stickers, have been a popular one. If you guys have seen these in your residence hall, past, present, or future. I also have a ton of those in the back if you want to take some to pass out to your friends. This is my personal favorite because the screaming plant is hilarious to me. Brandon did programmable power strips and recycling containers in several of the residence halls, which is awesome. And they've also created my position just to show that our dedication to promoting sustainability on campus is ever present. We send Eco-Reps and our Res Hall staff to ASHIF, which for those of you that don't know or can't remember is the Association for the Advancement of Sustainability in Higher Education, where I'll leave it next week to go to Pittsburgh. Whoop, I'm excited. And we just created a sustainability master plan specifically for our Department of Residence Life. So for those of you who don't know, A&M as a whole has a campus master plan and a campus sustainability master plan, outlining how we as an institution are going to be sustainable and promote sustainability within our staff, faculty, and students. Residence Life is doing their complete own focus on our facilities and how we operate, and it's the first of its kind. It's actually being presented at ASHI 2 next week, which we're really excited about. Okay.
Turn it towards that computer on the B side, Kristianna, since we're running it from over there. That's why.
Darn combination rooms, man. Okay. So, one of the events that I'm in charge of is our annual sustainability dinner and awards. This is actually coming up in just 3 short weeks on October 23rd. And what the sustainability dinner is we have locally sourced food catered by Chartwell's, our dining facility on campus. They get all the food locally sourced or within a small radius, that way we're not getting food from Maine or Florida. Everything stays local, so our carbon footprint is small. They serve it all in compostable dinnerware, and they even have a compost bin that they bring, so any food that we don't eat or don't take gets composted rather than just thrown in the trash, which is fantastic. And it's a free dinner for all of you guys. You get to meet faculty, staff that are interested in promoting, researching, or teaching about sustainability all across campus. And as Brandon will talk to you about with what sustainability means, it's not just the environmental sciences. We have people from economics that are going to be coming, engineering, architecture, and a lot of different departments. And another thing that we do at the dinner is we showcase our annual sustainability awards. Submissions are due on the 19th of October, which is a Friday, by 5 p.m., so end of the business day. You can nominate yourself, or you can nominate someone else that you know in your residence hall. And then we have 5 categories to choose from. So you have your green tradition, so a student that is really enthusiastic about promoting sustainability with their peers. You have waste reduction, so do you notice that a peer of yours goes out of their way to pick up recycling that they find on the ground or in the parking lot? Creative innovators, so people that are really, really creative in fixing and modifying issues that they see with sustainability in their residence halls. A friend of sustainability, so one of the residence hall staff, whether that's your RA, your hall director, anything like that. And then green custodian. Do you notice that your custodian is doing a great job with promoting sustainability and taking out the recycling? Give them a shout out and get them nominated for this award. I also do a monthly sustainability newsletter. Each month has a different theme and will be uploaded to the sustainability webpage for Res Life, which I'll show you guys where that is a little bit later on in the presentation. This was an example of what I did last December, so it's a little old. And I'm working on creating a listserv, that way I can just send you all these electronically through your email, like a lot of other listservs. And recommendations are always welcome if there's a specific topic you would like to see covered. I greatly appreciate that, because doing this every month, it's kind of hard to think of new ideas. And plus, I want you guys to read about something that you care about and just let me know. This is the newest thing that we have coming out that I'm very proud of. It's our on-campus living sustainability guide. So it's also on the sustainability webpage. It outlines what it means to live green here in the heart of Aggie land. And it provides a bunch of tips. It's all broken down, and it covers more than just this, about how you can be sustainable in different areas of your on-campus apartment, in your dorm room. Even if you live off-campus, these are really beneficial tips for you to have. And it also outlines the student and campus entities, like the Aggie Eco Reps, who promote sustainability in all 3 areas. And it has contact information for those various departments, as well as those student orgs. That way you can get in touch with them if you have more questions or would like to join. This one has been my favorite so far. I hope people can attest that they had fun. Brianna is the one who did this last year. So each spring semester, we have what's called the U Challenge. It stands for Utilities Challenge. And what this is we have groups of 4 to 7 students form a team, and it can be undergraduate or graduate students. They are assigned a residence hall by us, one that hasn't been recently renovated, and they examine the utility and energy consumption over at least the past 2 years minimum, as well as past efforts to make that area more sustainable on campus. And they look at all of that and they examine it and give us ideas on how we can improve the infrastructure. So what you guys want to see to make that building better, whether that's LED light upgrades or low flow shower fixtures, and also student engagement improvements, because who knows best how to get students involved than students? I mean, I'm not that much older than you all, because I'm only 23, which makes me feel old. But my idea of how to engage students is different than maybe what you guys would actually want to engage in, if that makes sense. And it's combined with an initial round where you present with your team, and then we go to a final round. So the top 2 teams from the undergraduate and graduate levels make it to the final round. And we have a banquet also with locally sourced food. And even if your team weren't to make it to the final round, you're still welcome to come and enjoy food and network with our sponsors, who are Johnson Controls and Siemens, 2 of our contractors on campus. It's a lot of fun, and the recommendations that you all provide us if you participate in the U Challenge, we take to heart and we look to see how, when, and where can we implement them. So these were 2 of the ideas we had this past year. These are both having to be from Davis and Gary because they put on the PowerPoint slide. But one is a mock utility bill, because you know when you live on campus, you pay one lump sum. You don't pay a separate utility bill like I do living in an apartment. So you may not realize just how much electricity or water you're using and what that equates in dollar amount. Because obviously if you're paying for it separately, you're going to be a little more conscious. And then another one that we have were just tips of the month that we can send out via email or maybe even stickers that we could just put up temporarily. And this is also going to be presented by me at Aggie next week. I'm doing a whole session on it just to let other schools know just how progressive we are with this. The number of students that participated in the Youth Challenge quadrupled in its second year, which was this past year, which was great. We had 40 students compiled with 8 teams, and I think it was a lot of fun. Brian, did you like it?
It was really fun, like getting to know everything that's going on like in the dorm. Like now I can actually tell people that I know, like, oh, snap, like if you're having this problem, this is a thing like you can do to like improve, like just personally. I don't know. It was also fun because we had tours of the facilities as well. Like I got to talk to people who like have made huge improvements in infrastructure already. And one of them have been apply that to like I don't know what I wanted to see as a student. So I don't know if it's like for absolutely everybody, but like it was really nice getting to do that just as a freshman.
It was really cool. We had one student. How many of you guys know what an HVAC system is? Heating, ventilation, air conditioning? Okay. Maybe because my dad was a construction manager, I just grew up knowing what that means. But a lot of our students didn't realize just how interconnected our systems are on campus, and that we get a lot of our power from our central utility plant. Students were encouraged to go on tours of that. You guys will be too during Sustainability Month this month. But it was a ton of fun and a great networking opportunity. A lot of our students got to find out about internship opportunities with JCI Johnson Controls and learn more about future careers. But just because you're not in engineering or architecture doesn't mean you can't apply and find meaning in it. Sam, who was an Aggie rep last year, he's a physics major, and he loved this, just working with all the data sets that we had. And we had a whole team of nothing but math majors. So it's a lot of fun. And then how many of you guys heard about this last year? Cool. So Donate, Don't Dump is something we host at the end of every spring semester as students are moving out of their residence halls and apartments. We partner with Goodwill, and they provide these giant bins as well as a box truck and then a trailer, a pup trailer, so like a little tiny trailer, to put in various areas on campus. And students, if they don't want to take any durable goods, clothes, extra furniture or lamps home, or they don't have space to take it, rather than just throwing it in the landfill, they can donate it to Goodwill. And same thing with their food. This past year we partnered with the 12 Can, and I'm shocked at how much food might have ended up in the landfill because we completely overstocked the 12 Can pantry. Their entire pantry was full to the brim, and each of their exec board members, their at-home pantries were just full of all of the overstock. And we still took over 300 pounds to the local food bank here. Can you imagine if all that had just gone in the landfill? Like, that would be a huge waste of food. And we did have a little bit of issue with the 12 Can just because they were a little overwhelmed with how much inventory they were getting. So to kind of offset that, we're going to look into partnering with BBFB, so the local food bank here, just so we can make sure all the food gets distributed out. And we're trying to do this multiple times a year. I know there are certain times, when you go home for Thanksgiving or when you go home for Christmas break, you kind of purge your room of stuff that you thought you needed but you didn't actually need. Just so you guys have the opportunity to recycle and repurpose your goods multiple times a year. So this is the Residence Life Sustainability webpage. This is kind of a catch-all. I work with Duffy, our web mistress, to work on all this. So if you just go to the Residence Life webpage, go under Living on Campus, it'll pop down with a little bar, and it's at the very bottom, it's called Sustainability. This has all the information I've gone over today, plus some more on it. It has the link to our newsletter, which always pops up under news and announcements. It has a running calendar of events that EcoReps host, that I host, other organizations are hosting that relate to any of the 3 areas of sustainability. It has the living guide, which is underneath this tab. You'll scroll down. It also has a link to our phone app, which is the Eco Aggies app. You can download this. It's free for iPhone and Android. You can click on the sustainable behaviors that you're doing, and you get points. And it keeps a running tally of all the actions you do. It tells you how many tons of CO2 you've saved, how many gallons of water, how much electricity you've saved, which is great. And you can even compete with your friends. It also has the awards application on the bottom, and it has a feed to our Facebook page, which is Aggie's Going Green. It's strictly with Residence Life. I post tips on how to be sustainable, interesting articles I find. I also shout out other events happening on campus. If the Office of Sustainability is doing something, if you all are doing something, I'll share your events on there as well. Some future resources that we're looking at. We are looking at a green dorm room certification program. So what this would be, with residents would fill out a questionnaire off of the sustainability webpage, and it will be a list of different items they have in their room, so like a clothes drying rack or a reusable water bottle. And then they would also list out the frequency of certain actions they take. You know, I try and eat vegetarian 2 or more times a week, or I only buy from the farmer's market my produce and things like that. And they'll be ranked on a scale, which levels 1 through 3, and you have seedling, sapling, and post oak. See what I did there? Because post oak century tree. I thought it was clever. And they'll be given a sticker that they can put right next to their door deck on their door, just to show people that they are committed to sustainability, and see how they grow. And another one that we're really excited about is a hanger project. So do you all know when you go to like a dry cleaners and you have that wire hanger that's kind of caked in that paper? You guys know what I'm talking about? It would have this design on it, and we are hoping to have one on every bed during move-in next year. And it has just tips on how to respect, protect, and preserve your clothing. So wash in cold water, hang dry. If you know your shirt is missing a button, don't throw away the entire shirt. Either repurpose it or replace the button. And we're going to work on this with a bunch of corporate sponsors that we have lined up. That way every freshman, sophomore, returning student will have one of these on their bed. And it's useful because, I mean, how many times do you get swag from events and you don't end up using it? It just vanishes into thin air. This is something you can use on a day-to-day basis and to constantly remind you how you can be sustainable in your life. And then a future event that we're getting ready to host from November to April, it's called the Trex Plastic Bag Challenge. So Trex is a company based out of Winchester, Virginia, and they make composite decking and outdoor furniture out of 95% recycled wood and plastic film, which is insane. The goal for this is to collect over 500 pounds of plastic film, and that can be bread bags, grocery bags, the wrap on your pallets of water, although you shouldn't be doing that, you should be using a reusable water bottle. And what we do is we collect it, weigh it, provide it to a retailer. Target is working with us to ship off all of the plastic because Trex already buys it from them as a retailer. And if we collect 500 pounds of plastic or more in that 6-month time frame, we get a free Trex bench valued at over $700, which is fantastic. We're going to have bin locations all across campus, so at a couple of 24-hour desks, each of the activity centers for the apartments, and potentially the GSC lobby. We're also looking at doing one maybe at the bookstore, just because they have a lot of plastic that comes through that way. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We might have a challenge to see if South Side or North Side is better at collecting plastic, and who would get the bench based on how much we make. So. Go back. I feel like I'm already an old person because I can't do technology anymore. It's like when active boards became a thing. So, that's my contact information, guys. I'm also at all the meetings every Sunday night. Feel free to email me, call me, shoot me a Facebook message through Aggie's Going Green. I check it all the time, probably a little too much. So yeah, does anybody have any questions? Yeah.
Are you guys with the recycling plastic in the as well?
So we only get 10 bins from the company, so we're trying to put them in main locations of campus, which is why we're doing the 24-hour desks and the activity centers for the apartments. It also limits the amount we have to go through because I have to go around with one of our facilities members and actually collect the plastic. So it just kind of limits the amount of time we have to run around campus. So no, it's going to be those locations. Yeah.
What about like places to eat on campus whenever they give you the options, like you can drink soda or you can drink water from these bottles? Wouldn't they like have to order these in big shipments and also have the plastic sheets, and you could ask them like what they do with them and see if we can collect those?
Yeah, we are. We're working with our custodial staff because all of like the toilet paper and products that they use within residence halls are delivered on giant pallets wrapped in plastic. So we're gonna get all that plastic as well. So I don't think we'll probably be 500 pounds within like the first month of collecting if we get this out to the size we want. Anybody else? Awesome, thanks guys.